Hello, Ria Cole. Okay, this is the master plan on how we're actually gonna slay our book, world domination, take over. Because you know what, J.K. Rowling and Harry Potter have been in the #1 spot for too long, and we are gonna take over. Okay, so I like to separate books into 3 different areas, right? First stage, outline. Second stage, write. Third stage, edit. Okay, in the outline stage, basically what I did is I separated it into 4 categories. So first category, character, then you have plot, then you have world building, and then 4 is just like dialogue or I don't know, whatever, right? You need to write down each character and write down just stuff about them. We don't need wasting time on oh my god, what's their favorite color? What's their favorite song? What A-levels did they do? Okay, no, I did do that. But still, do not waste your time. Just write down the fundamentals. What I did is I wrote what every single character wants to achieve in the book, then what every single character actually needs in order to achieve their want, or they have realized they have a different thing they want. Then I also write their tragic anime backstory, and then I also write how that tragic anime backstory has impacted them, and then I also write secrets that they're carrying from the rest of their group, as well as how they change and shit like that, right? That is literally what you need. And then I also just have a thing called vibe check, and then I just write random words that give off the character's energy. So that's basically how you do it. You don't need to waste time filling out a bunch of character profiles and being yeah, so this is my character's favorite type of shoe and this is my character's favorite type of sandal, because who cares about that? Nobody. Literally, when you fill out the vibe section, you're already going to know the rest of that intuitively anyways, and you're just wasting your time. Obviously, if you're having fun doing it, go ahead, what's their favorite kind of shoe? But if you want to actually start writing and you're on the outline, you're why is the outline taking 10 years? Maybe it's because you're wasting time doing that, perhaps. Next, plot. Okay, literally what I did is I just wrote down bullet point, bullet point, bullet point, each point that happens in the book. Look up the hero's journey and do it according to that, or follow your own heart. Honestly, there's no set one way to write it. If you're just slaying, you're slaying. Well, this is my advice. You can take some of it, you can ignore some of it and be ew, that's not helping. Then just be ew, that's not helping. It's fine. So anyways, what you need to do is you need to just follow the hero's journey, or whatever journey thingy plot you can find, plot structure, and then just write down all the events that you can think of. So what I did is first I just wrote down what happened in my book, then I looked up the hero's journey, wrote down each stage, and then I sort of combined the 2 to see what would happen. Then what I did is I wrote each thing on a post-it because it was easier for me in real life, and I wrote each stage on a post-it and I actually put it all over my wall. So post-it, then each time I just peel off the post-it when I'd actually written that in the writing stage. So that is another way of how to basically just outline your plot, right? And then for world building, literally do not waste time talking about the a million types of leaves, because will the a million types of leaves even get in your book? Unless you're writing a book about leaves? No. So what is the point? What I did is I discussed the magic system in my book, because it's actually so cool. Literally, if you just do some sort of magic, you'll break your fingers. But also now the entire magic, the breaking finger thing, and every single time you do a magic, you bleed and then you involuntarily just get super injured, that happens on every single page. People are dying. But now the entire magic system has literally changed. Before it's just everyone has random magic powers, then it turned into some physics thing, and now it's elemental. So honestly, there's lots of different things going on, and I didn't explain mine properly in that detail because I don't know, I'll probably just make an entire video for standing my book. But yeah, literally, so you don't have to go into that much detail in the outline, because your entire book is going to change as you write it anyway. So what is even the point? There is none. Obviously have fun outlining, know what you're going to write, etc., if that's helpful, but it's basically, the outline is basically just giving draft 1, right? Anyways, now, and then the 4th one, literally, if you get any cool ideas, any character dialogue, just write that down in the 4th one. Okay, next stage is the writing stage. What helped me is whenever I'd read a book and I found a slay line, I'd put it in a Word document and I'd separate it into different categories. For example, this is really good for snow scenes. This is really good for rainy scenes. This is really good for plot twists. And then I'd my eyes. I actually have beef with Specsavers and their expired contacts, and Specsavers literally gave me pink eye. Storytime video perhaps. Anyways, literally write a book, but in the writing stage you literally just have to write. I can't remember what I was saying, but I was saying something really smart before I got distracted by Specsavers. Yeah, so obviously don't like 100% steal the other person's line and then get in a bunch of lawsuits and then like lose all your money and end up in prison, but get inspired by those lines. That's really good. Also, my friend told me about a website called Descriptionary, where you can literally just search like, I don't know, pain description in that. And also this saved me because I was writing a short story and honestly I needed a bunch of descriptions for pain, and my own Google document came in handy because I had an entire section called pain that I could just write about. Also, that's literally helpful because like the main book I'm actually writing, because bitches be dying on getting, not dying, but bitches be getting hella injured on every single page, you know, so it's very useful. Anyways, so literally just separate it into different categories and do that. And then also just read a lot. Literally just read a lot. That will also help you. Anyways, so you literally just, my advice is just write. And then if you're like, shit, I spelled this word wrong, I need to go back. Don't, because that's what the editing stage is for. Just write. Just focus on getting it finished, because you can at least be relieved. You're like, oh my gosh, I got the first bit finished, rather than continuously writing and be like, because then you're just gonna be like, oh no, let me go back and edit. Oh no, let me go back and edit. And then all of a sudden you've just written one paragraph for 2 years because you just keep on going back and editing. Not slay. And then my also advice would be like, maybe challenge yourself to write a set amount of words every day, or for a certain amount of minutes every day. Obviously you could just do it intuitively and be like, based on how I feel, I'm just gonna write for the joy. And if that helps, help. But then if you're like been sitting there for like 5 years and you're like, wait, I've literally written 1 word, because normally you're like, ugh, I'd be lazy, I want to watch Indian matchmaking and not write. And then you write and you're like, oh my god, this is so fun, I love my characters, I love my entire book, I love the plot, I want to understand it, it's so good, it's so good, it's so amazing, it needs to be published because the world needs to be blessed with my art. Exactly. So anyways, also I don't remember if this was the video I was talking about Indian matchmaking in. No, it wasn't. You guys are gonna be so confused. Basically yesterday I didn't write because I did, but like a bit, because I was too busy watching Indian matchmaking. Anyways, the 3rd stage is literally the editing stage. Okay, so what I did is I made a list of all of the, I basically read my book, and I just like on Google Docs I'd do comments and then write down the things that I thought were trash or like needed improvement. Then I wrote that in a Google document separately, and I just highlighted it based on whether the issue was a big issue, medium issue, or small issue. Then I organized the colors from severe to least severe, because let's say you have 2 issues. The first issue is that on the 2nd page you forgot to add a full stop. And then this issue is, oh my gosh, I literally accidentally forgot a character existed for the entire book. Let's say you got rid of the full stop, you added the full stop, and then you did this, but then because of the character, that line doesn't even exist anymore. Then you literally changed it for nothing. Oh, and also because this side is actually related to writing, like the prose and whatever, and this is related to the story. So my thing is like, number 1, you need to do like the story edit, and then you need to do the prose edit. So basically ignore if the writing style is trash and just focus on the story. And then what I did is I used Google Sheets. Oh my gosh, also ChatGPT used. Anyways, I'll get into that later. But Google Sheets I used. Then what I did is I put in every single day. I just put on the dates for a week, and then week. And then every single day I put one of the things, or 2 or 3, depending on how small or big it is, from the list onto the sheet. And I'm like, today I have to get this done off the editing checklist. So then that's just a good way to stay organized and actually edit your book and slay. And then also you can look at the end date. And also what I did is I left 1 day for every single week blank, just in case, like, I don't know, like I nearly die and then I don't end up writing. At least have that 1 day. So that is a good way. And then after that, just do the same process, but with actually making the story sound lang, right? Also, just use ChatGPT if you don't know. Like, I don't know, send ChatGPT a thing for your book and be like, ChatGPT, how can this be improved story-wise? Or how can this be improved? And then ChatGPT will literally say, is this book good? Is this book trash? I don't know. So then literally just use that to get life hacks and then oh my gosh, you've written your entire book and you've slayed. Other elements of the master plan that are not related to the entire structure is, first, I know, like, I don't know, because I personally have not published anything yet, but I know, like, and you might not want to publish anything, like, you might literally just want to publish it on AO3, who knows, but I've heard of people who published it and then they don't have an online following, and then they're like, oh my god, no one's reading my book because I have no clout. So maybe a good idea would to be get clout so you can dominate the world, aka build a real cult. And then also another thing would be literally just actually do it. Because why are you not doing it? You actually need to write your book. Like, in order to do all of these things, you need to actually do it. Because, like, it's one thing to just watch this video and be like, okay, Ria, thank you for that advice, and then just, like, go away and then not listen to anything I said. You need to be taking notes. You need to be implementing what I am saying into your actual writing and actually doing it. Obviously, like, if you're like, ew, that advice was trash, then don't listen to that certain part. But you actually need to be writing a book in order to finish it. Because your book isn't just gonna like magically write itself and then the entire book will magically change. No. So the plan is you need to follow the steps I gave in the master plan and you will dominate the world. If it's not with this book, because the more you write, the better you get at writing anyways. So even if you're like, you finish the book and you're like, this is trash, no, just write another one, it'll be super good. And you know your book is good and not trash anyways because you feel it. You are part of your own fandom. You're like, oh my god, the world needs to be blessed with your art. People, trust me, people will literally make edits of your characters. People will literally write fanfics of your characters. The world needs to be blessed with your art, but it's up to you to actually write it. Because it's up to you. There's a future where people are standing your book. Your book is like, oh my gosh, the edits, the fan art, the ships, the fandom wars, everything is going on. And then there is a world where you were too lazy and you couldn't be bothered to write a book. And when that happened, you literally just got no clout, and now you're in a 9-to-5 job and you hate it and you're not following your passion, and you're super elderly now and you're like, damn, I don't follow my passion. Which one is going to be you is up to you to decide. Bye.